Hey there, this is Mike and you're listening to Feeling Twisty. I'm really glad you're here. There are tyrants in the land, huh? We all have them, some more than others. It's our nature to justify our failures and our successes. We blame the Democrats or the Republicans for our economic woes. The presidential race has been a topic of conversation in my family and among my friends lately, probably yours too. I have some diehard red and diehard blue friends and family. Sometimes I'm asked, what am I? And I'll quote my wife Kim from last night. Her response was, "We're a rainbow." I love that. She's right. We are all things. Not everything is Mike and Kim, but each one of us is I am, consciousness, and all is within consciousness. It really doesn't matter who sits in the White House or which party is in the majority in Congress. Well, it does if you're still under the thumb of secondary causes, but not if you understand what Neville is saying in his lecture, Freedom. When asked, what is the greatest of all the commandments, God answered, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Accept this commandment, live by it, and you will be free from all secondary causes. There's only one God. He is the Father of us all, who is above all, through all, and in all. He is a universally diffused individuality, whose name forever and ever is I am." You may not be aware of who you are, what you are, or where you are, but by being aware, you are mentally saying, I am. Every conscious being says, I am. And if there is only one I am, then I am one individual, diffused. I am the sole cause of all that is. All things were made through imagining, and without awareness was not anything made that was made. If he's in every being who says, I am, and there is only one God, no one can accuse another. For God's name is not He is, but I am. No matter what appears on the outside, I am its cause. Assume full responsibility for the things you observe, and if you do not like what you see, know you have the power to change them. Then exercise that power, and you will observe the change you caused. If you are truly willing to assume that responsibility, you are set free. Freedom. We spend our lives pointing the finger at others. It's us against them. It's me against the world, Ma. There is no them. There is only I am. Neville goes on to say the morning paper, or in today's technology, your social media feed, tells of what she, he, and they are doing, and you cannot relate their actions to anything you've done. Yet there is only one cause, only one God, who is resonant in you as your awareness, your own wonderful human imagination. God did not break up the I am and give each one of us a portion of himself. He gave each one individually his whole being. I am cannot be divided. There is no division in consciousness in God, and I can't blame a seeming other for what I'm experiencing. Well, I can, but I'm not doing that anymore. I see people on both sides of the political game spewing venom at those that oppose them right now. They're only hating themselves. Neville says there are infinite states through which man falls, and those states remain for anyone to inhabit. You hate a man you call a fascist and a bigot, and you hate the other because he's the Antichrist. But you're hating God, the same God you are. You're reacting to a state of consciousness from the state of consciousness you're in. When you remember who you are and who they are, you'll forgive all, because you see it's just a state that you used to identify the person as. Oh, but Mike, you don't understand. This guy is really a dick. It's just a state. Neville calls the belief in secondary causes tyranny. And looking back at how I used to live my life, it was tyranny. Being pushed around and shoved by circumstances of life, blaming Kim, the kids, my parents, the neighbor who lets his dog poop in my front yard every morning, everyone but me. You've done it too. Don't act like you haven't. We can't help but look for the reasons things happened, good or bad. It's an automatic thing with us, almost instinctual. We look for the cause. We hear of some news, then we immediately start tracking down the events that led to that. You hear someone is diagnosed with lung cancer, and your first thought is likely, I knew smoking would kill him. Or you had a bad day because you woke up late. Or you blame your stiff joints on the weather. I've told this story a number of times on here, how I was diagnosed with anorexia when I was a kid. The state I was in at the time blamed food. It saw food as the enemy. Calories were my secondary cause, one of them. Doctors at the time said it was a chemical imbalance that caused the anorexia. Or like a Christian psychologist who looked at my file, never talked to me, just looked at my file, implied latent homosexuality was the cause of my anorexia. Nope. Only one cause. You get a promotion at the office and you explain how it happened. Maybe the person in that position quit or was promoted and that's why you got the bump. But that's just how events unfolded. That's not why it happened. We like to look at events, the unfolding of what we're imagining, and point to those events saying, these are the reasons why, these are the causes of why I'm in the situation I'm in now, whether it's good or bad. The reason you got the promotion is you, not the series of events that led to it. That stuff, the event stuff, always follows consciousness. And I don't mean follows to imply there's any type of separation or a time lag. The events in your life are not to blame or praise for your circumstances. There's only first cause. My I amness is the only cause, and so is yours. It's funny now, some of my conversations with Kim and my family are much shorter than they used to be because we just don't spend time charting the course of events that led to the issue. We know the cause. Sometimes Kim says, I know I'm the cause, but just let me vent, please. I love her. You can turn to any expert, political pundits, economists, doctors, and they'll find causes for your misfortune, blaming the other party or jobless reports or genes. We go looking for causes and we'll find them. But there's nothing on the outside that can be the cause because imagination leads, the physical follows. Mr. 2020 calls it Echoville. Echo, echo, echo. I love that. What you call the real world, this physical world, is only echoing what you call your imagination, what you are assuming to be true about yourself and your world. When I was sick after the anhydrous ammonia release, I started researching all the possible things that could be wrong with me, all the ways the chemical could harm me. I remember the night I was sitting on the back porch, digging through YouTube on my phone. I was searching for movement disorders. One doctor had, the day before, said that I had tardive dyskinesia. So that got me on the hunt for movement disorders and what else could be wrong with me. And that's where I learned about this disease, this movement disorder called dystonia. And what I saw was the worst kind, generalized dystonia. I saw these videos of people of all ages just twisted and contorted, and I thought, oh God, I hope this isn't what I have. In a matter of months, that's exactly what I was diagnosed with: generalized dystonia caused by the lesions on the brain. I was living my greatest fear at the time, contorted and twisted, or twisty. I might have said this before, but that's where the name of this podcast came from. I had gotten so tired of people constantly asking me how I was feeling. My go-to response was, I'm feeling twisty. And I would just roll on past them in the wheelchair. There is no cause other than what I am imagining for myself and my world. I can continue living an oppressed life, thinking the government, the economy, society, traditions, family control me, or I can break free from a belief in anything outside of self and live an adventurous life. Neville says, boldly assume that you are the one you want to be. Remain faithful to the assumption and see if it will not establish itself and become hardened into fact. And you will know then the one who really establishes all the ends of the earth. For your earth will be anchored down and bearing witness of the man, the woman that you have conceived yourself to be. Then you will be free of the greatest tyranny in the world. And the greatest tyranny in the world is the belief in the secondary cause. There is no second cause. There is only first cause. And the cause of everything is the name. But when you don't know it, well, then you blame another. And I cannot conceive of a greater tyranny than the belief in a second cause. I didn't get completely what Neville meant right off the bat. I would hear him say that, boldly assume. And I'd think, but how can I be so bold? I was reacting that way because I was still holding on to secondary cause. I was seeing things in my life as little battles, little things to have to fight against, to use my imaginative toolbox against. I was seeing my bills and my family and others as things outside of me that I had to fight against. The Bible says it clearly. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. I form the light and create darkness. I bring prosperity and create disaster. I, the Lord, do all these things. The being speaking there is not some God out there somewhere watching us from heaven, because heaven is within us. The one speaking there is I am. My I amness, my awareness of being kills and gives life. It wounds and heals. My imagination forms the light and creates the darkness. My imagination brings prosperity and creates disaster. My awareness of being does all these things. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Hear, one who rules as God, because that's what Israel means. The I am, our I ams, is one I am. There is no division, none between you and a seeming other. None between your desire and its realization in your life. None. No division whatsoever. I'm going to talk more about boldly assuming in my next episode. Send me your questions and suggestions for topics if you'd like. I love hearing from you. Look up Feeling Twisty on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or email me at feelingtwisty@gmail.com. I love you. This is Feeling Twisty.